Go.
How's it going, guys? I'm Zane. We're gonna try to do a top 10 favorite superhero movies for basically for us, like whatever our top 10 is. I got my brother Jesus and my cousin Fro, and we're gonna give you our top 10, and hopefully we can do this on a weekly basis. And let us know what y'all think. If y'all have any ideas or comments or whatever, hit us up in the comments below. Let us know.
Definitely let us know. Yes.
So I would like to start with a honorable mention. I don't know if y'all guys have any, but I do. And this might actually be on one of y'all's lists. I don't know. But my honorable mention is actually Unbreakable. I think I think that was like a great movie. It just didn't quite make it on my top 10. There was a few more on there that were either more funny or they had a better soundtrack or just something that didn't quite get it to make it for me. So, what about you guys? Did y'all have anything?
I'm going to go ahead and just skip an honorable mention right now until I get to my number one. And I'm going to go ahead and just name out my 10 spot.
Hold on. Let's see if Jess has got an honorable.
I don't have an honorable, but Unbreakable made one of the numbers for me.
Ooh, I like that.
All right, we'll talk about it when we get to yours then.
Yeah.
Let's kick it off with Fro. Let's go.
My top 10, I'm starting off at 10, my top 10 list is The Iron Giant.
Oh,
it's a cartoon classic. Right in the childhood, Iron Giant was probably amazing growing up, and I got to give it. I got to get it on my list. It was great. It was amazing. It had a lot of, just a lot of things that hit right in the spot.
Yeah. Fun fact: I didn't even know this. Vin Diesel was actually the voice of the Iron Giant.
Wow.
So I remember they were doing an interview with him one time, and he talked about that movie and how it was like one of his first movies he ever did, and I thought that was kind of cool. I've only seen the movie like twice, maybe, and I was kind of young when I saw it, but I do remember I enjoyed it. So
that's funny because doesn't he do Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes,
yeah, he does Groot too. Yeah.
Wow, that is something to know. That is pretty good. Fun fact. I like that.
So as far as like ratings go, that movie actually has an 8.0 out of 10 on IMDb. So I guess a lot of people liked it. It seems to be a pretty big fan favorite. I said, I've only seen it a couple times, but hey, maybe I should go back and rewatch it.
There's another fun fact too. It is actually in the movie Ready Player One too. He came back.
Oh, okay. So
made a special appearance.
They did the appearance in there. That's cool. That's cool.
Keep in mind, you guys, if you want to see our lists, we're gonna leave a link in the description and in the description or even in the podcast. So check that out.
Definitely. Yeah. Jesus, you got a number 10?
Number 10. I gotta go strong on you guys. I gotta go Batman in the 1990 or 1980s.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. I gotta go strong with you guys. So it's Michael Keaton.
That one.
Batman would not have been Batman. Like he wouldn't have been as high on a pedestal if he didn't have Jack Nicholson as the Joker, man.
Absolutely. Jack Nicholson killed it. Easily.
Freaking this dude, like he can play an insane character, like nobody's business, man. And another fact about that movie, and I didn't find out till later, is one of my favorite composers, Danny Elfman.
Yeah. Yep.
He did the score. He did the score for that, and I freaked out, man. So that's definitely on my list, top 10.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Preem. Go ahead.
So when I think of Batman, the only Batman I ever think of is either Michael Keaton or not the new Batman, but the Batman Begins saga. You know what I mean? So those are the only two I think of when I think of Batman.
Is that the guy you're talking about, Christian Bale?
Yeah, Christian Bale. And then, of course, he had Heath Ledger, legendary Joker also.
Oh.
So, but when it comes to this Batman, the 1989 old school, first iteration, it holds a special place in my heart. I didn't put it on my list, but I know that a lot of people rate this movie very highly, especially for its time. It was kind of one of those things where back in the day, they didn't really do movies like this. And so it was a breakout point really for Tim Burton and also Danny Elfman. IMDb has it at a 7.5 out of 10. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I like the way, like I said, I like the way Jack Nicholson played the Joker as of a gangster type of deal. You know,
Yeah.
Oh
brought it
yeah.
back, like the whole, because right now we're in a spot where the Joker, he's joking. He's a joke. He's a clown.
Right.
Jack Nicholson made his own Joker, and it stuck with everybody, and it's very good. It's very recognizable because the way he played it as a gangster Joker.
Right, and that purple suit that he had, it was like a gangster suit, and it was purple, and man, it's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I think about that Prince song coming on, and Nicholson just running through the art gallery. Like every time I think about that movie, so it definitely it reminds me of a time back in the day when I used to watch it when I was a kid.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking too. Like, I mean, the best thing about the superhero movie doesn't have to be the good guy. It could be the bad guy that makes the movie. I mean, and two, like superheroes like in some people's definition is like they have these magical powers that are from another planet or whatever. It's kind of like Marvel does. But Batman, he's a human. He doesn't have any superpowers. He's got money to get all these gadgets and stuff.
Yeah.
But he's a human. That's I guess that kind of breaks the norm for me as far as a superhero movie goes.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. It's a good pick.
Nice.
Let me get these rearranged real quick. All right. So on to my number 10. When I think of superhero movies, I mean, it can go funny, it can go serious, it can go wherever. But man, when I think of superhero movies, Blank Man always comes to the list for me.
Blank Man.
Yeah, man. Blank Man. I mean, Damon Wayans came in with it, and it was like one of the most funniest movies I had ever seen when I was a kid. It was about this regular dude that worked in an office, and he wanted to be a superhero. And I mean, I remember the robot RJ5.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think about. You know what I mean? When I think about superhero movies, so this movie made it to my top 10. Apparently a lot of people didn't like it because it got a 4.9 out of 10 on the IMDb scale, but a lot of people didn't rate it either. So
because it's so old and independent, I don't think a lot of people have seen it either.
Exactly. Yeah, that too. I mean, for sure.
I fall victim in that category because I have not seen it. Can't really talk much about it, but that is definitely on my list now to actually see it because I think he is funny, especially when he did the TV show where he has my wife and kids.
Well, they have I mean, he did where he did it with his brother. The TV show with his brother. I mean, that was a big one.
Oh yeah, so. Was it A Living Color?
No. It was the Wayans Bros.
Oh, dude.
And they had that show too, and that was a really big show as well.
Nice. So who do you got next?
I'm gonna go here.
Let's go with Jesus's number 9. Let's see what we got.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, number 9. I gotta go on the list. Let me see. So I was planning on doing this the other way around, but I mean, I guess I'll just go and start with Marvel. I guess I got to bring it in.
Yeah, for sure.
I got to bring it in. So Thor Ragnarok.
Oh,
number 9.
That's a good one. That's a great soundtrack.
Great soundtrack. I mean, I think the best part for me of that movie was the kind of camaraderie between him and the Hulk. And it was really kind of comedic in a sense. I really like that. Like the Hulk, you kind of saw really his personality, and you never really see it in other stuff. You just see him angry.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. I like that.
Freaking Jeff Goldblum comes out on it, and this dude. I mean, when I first saw him, I was like, man, this has got to be a funny flick, and it was just a good show for me. The fight scene between him and the Hulk. I mean, how can you not get over that? They're like, I don't know, but like the lady villain, I mean, she really kind of didn't do a lot for me because, because I feel like sometimes movies like they just kind of throw that at you, and I'm just like, man, why can't you just be original and make it actually good? You know what I mean? But
honestly, like the one thing I don't like that Marvel does is that they really strip down their characters because Hela is a great character in the comics. It's kind of weird because she's like Loki's daughter, but I don't know, the way they did it in the movie was great. I think they did a great job. Hela was a little bit she was kind of wonky as a character, but she still came in nice. I think she fed into the story pretty well. And fun fact, they said that she should be coming back.
Wow, nice.
So
I like that also that the Asgard was a flat Earth. Did you notice that on the movie?
Yeah,
it wasn't a round planet, so I thought that was pretty interesting that they incorporated that, and in this kind of this generation, you know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah,
that was pretty cool.
It was definitely a great movie. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, dude, they had Led Zeppelin. They came in strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's true. I mean, they even had Matt Damon in there. You know?
Yeah, dude, that was funny.
So, dude, yeah. When I first saw that part, I was like, dude, I can't believe they got Matt Damon in this. But that was one of the best parts. The only better part would have been if they had Ben Affleck up there with him.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
So, but this movie has a 7.9 out of 10. I actually don't know why it's so low because everyone I've talked to says they love this movie. So that's kind of weird. But
it also takes apart to where like Ragnarok is supposed to be dark and death.
Yeah.
And Marvel made it into what they made it into, which is very good. But
that's a good point. Because honestly, like I'm not really a comic reader. I kind of just watch the movies and stuff. But yeah, that's a really good perspective because I would have never seen it that way. And I know a lot of the real hardcore comic fans, like you guys are kind of like, yeah, well, this like you guys can really kind of judge it because y'all actually know where it came from, its origin.
Yeah, but that's the thing I love about the Marvel movies or the MCU as they call it, is because they take their own spin on it. You know what I mean? Even though Ragnarok was this great catastrophe that happens to Asgard, they took it and they spun it in a real fun way. And I think this is actually my number 3. You know what I mean? This is my number 3 movie that I chose as one of my top favorite movies. So
and I agree, but I also took into part where all right, they don't want to make 2 dark and death stories back to back because if spoiler alerts, I don't know if you've seen Infinity War, but it starts off very dark and deathy,
Yeah,
and I think that's what they were.
True.
I think that's where they were kind of aiming for. It's kind of like fun, but yes, this happens to Asgard, but we don't want to get you into the mindset of just already death and destroying when Infinity War starts off. Boom.
Question. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say Ragnarok is the prequel to Infinity War. Like it literally starts like the minute after Ragnarok ends, Infinity War starts.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think it was their best interest to have a whole movie that's dedicated to Ragnarok, which we all know is death, destruction, and the end of Asgard.
Yeah.
To instantly go into more death and destruction. Kind of like, okay, they gave us like laughs, great performance by all the cast, and then they hit us with the big guns. Because then it's serious. This is where Thanos comes in, and he's like, "Yo, this is mine. This is my stuff now."
Okay, I got a question, you guys. So, do y'all think that the I guess the kind of masterminds behind the movie industry, they're trying to appeal to like a huge audience, as far as like making it funny, making it serious, or putting this actor for this character? What do you guys think about that?
I think that I think Marvel is just family friendly. It doesn't matter if it's even Infinity War. I think it's family friendly. We started off with Iron Man, and look where we're at now. I mean, even my kids love Thor, Iron Man, Captain America. I think it's great. I don't know. I think it's
that's perfect, and because I think it's because it's the superhero genre. I mean, we're just drawn to superheroes, the good and the bad, like Star Wars. Like Star Wars had a big old freaking thing I mean, it's just a good versus evil, and everybody can relate to it. I think that's why. I mean, I totally agree with that.
When it comes to Marvel, though, we're going to talk about Marvel a lot through this whole list. I guarantee it. But Marvel just has this way about doing movies the right way. Even though they're not following the comics exactly.
Yeah.
It's not too dark. It's not too funny all the time. It's just a perfect balance. And the characters that they get play their characters perfectly. They don't just get whoever's up for the role, whoever wants to get paid the most. They pick people that they know will fit the character perfectly.
There's another fun fact.
That's the great thing about Marvel.
Tom Cruise was supposed to be Iron Man.
No.
Yeah, back in the day when they first wanted, they wanted to get him.
I don't think that would have flown, dude.
That's what I was thinking too. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. plays that so well.
That's his character, man. That's who he is. He is Tony Stark.
that's him. I mean, I was just like, oh, I could not see Tom Cruise doing this and doing a good job out of it.
Well, I was listening. I was hearing on something that they were talking about how he changes the script on stuff because he wants to be part of the limelight, you know. And if he would have had that kind of say, you know what I mean, that would have made it even more like not gonna fly.
Yeah,
definitely. I could, yeah. I mean,
even though Robert Downey Jr. has say, like, I feel like they may let him because, you know, he's just the guy, he's the man, you know, and
I think it just comes with time, right? Like, I mean, the first Iron Man, I'm sure he didn't have as much say as he did when Infinity War came out. You know what I mean? Because they know he knows that role, and that's who he is.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And they trust him. You know what I mean? So,
and he's killing it. He killed it. He's killing it.
Right.
He's killing it right now.
So that was your number 9, huh? Thor Ragnarok. Which is kind of funny because my number 9 was actually Infinity War. This movie came out and shocked the world, basically. We were all waiting for it to come out. We're all still waiting for the second part to come out. It just hit everybody in the feels. It did everything it was supposed to. It satisfied almost everybody that watched it. It was a great movie all around, from the writing to the acting to even the little details like some of the music and the score. It was just a really good movie.
Man, that's good to hear because I haven't seen the movie, and I know you have a really good opinion on this stuff, and I dig your opinion, and when to hear you say that, it's like, wow, you know.
Yeah, no,
Marvel didn't let us down. Marvel didn't let us down, you know.
Yeah, definitely not. It's definitely worth the watch. I would say you probably don't have to watch any other Marvel movie to get this one, but it helps. There are some Marvel movies where you're definitely going to have to see the first one or something that connected to it to understand what's going on. This one you can kind of pick up, and I mean, it's kind of its own story. There's a bad guy, there's good guys, they fight. You know what I mean? So, this movie has an 8.6 out of 10 on IMDb out of 500,000.
That's good.
500,000 people that rated it. Yeah. So compared to Blank Man, who had 8,000 people who rated it. So.
Like, man.
So anybody else got anything to say about Infinity War?
I wish I could. I mean, I haven't seen it.
That's cool.
Did you guys think that I guess it's Thanos? Did he look like the character? Did he play it good? I mean, what's up with that?
It's iffy, right? Because
or is that a question not to ask a Marvel fan? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
it's kind of weird because my biggest thing is that Thanos, without the Infinity Gauntlet, can take on like half the Avengers by himself.
Damn, for real.
Exactly. So in the movie, they make it seem like he needs the Infinity Gauntlet just to do anything when he really doesn't. He's strong on his own. He's pretty smart too, actually. He's not this big dumb brute that they kind of make him out to be in the movie. Wow. But they do show him that he's a little bit smart. He's actually got a soft side in the movie too, if you watch it. It's just a great movie. They did a really good job.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that. If I go into any more detail, I would just spoil the movie. I do not want to spoil the movie.
Okay, so let's go to your number 8 then.
No, my number 9.
He's on 9.
Okay, let's do your 9.
I'm gonna go ahead and go back to that. I'm gonna go back to the Batman, but mine was Batman and Robin.
Oh,
and only because it's terrible. I know George Clooney, you know, but Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, I think killed it. He was good. I mean, I don't see a better Mr. Freeze than him. I mean, he did it. I liked it. I loved it, and I watch it to this day. So
I bet you. So Bane comes out on that one.
No, yeah.
Him and what's the lady's name? The Poison Ivy.
Yeah, she didn't do really too good, you know. But I mean, I thought Mr. Freeze carried that whole movie, even though it was a terrible movie.
It was terrible, Preem.
I think I like it.
That was like one of the worst DC movies ever.
Yeah, I got
some stinkers.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Zane on that one. I mean,
it's true. I mean, but I like it though. I mean, this is my
okay. So why do you like? So why do you like it, Big Preem?
That's just because of Mr. Freeze. That's why.
Yeah. Mr. Freeze.
I'm not gonna lie. Arnold Schwarzenegger did play a great role. I think he did. I just think that The whole movie was too cheesy, way too cheesy.
It was too cheesy. Plus, they had too much. They had Bane, Poison Ivy. They had what's her face to come in as Batgirl, and they had Robin. Yeah. So I think they had too much. But Mr.
I think maybe they were just putting all their eggs in one basket on that one.
Cream, let me ask you something. What has Chris O'Donnell done since this movie?
No, he didn't.
Tell me.
Nothing.
This movie ruined his career. That's how bad the movie was.
That's pretty bad. But I mean, I can't say
he's not backing down. He ain't backing down. That's his number 9.
I can't say it ruined Arnold Schwarzenegger's career. I mean, because he's still pulling. I mean, he's still pulling movies.
Man.
I mean, good ones too. Like the last good movie I seen with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, it was probably the Escape Plan with Rocky. What's his name? Oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah, with Stallone.
Stallone, yes, and that was very good. I didn't really like the Expendables too much, but I mean they were worth watching, and they're worth watching again. But Escape Plan, I watched all the time. I even watch it when I eat sometimes.
Cool.
So I like it.
This is good.
But I mean, Mr. Freeze, I like it, man. I like it. I'll go back and watch it. It's funny. I like it. That's my number 9.
All right. Okay. I guess I'll go next. So my number 8. We'll go to number 8 already. Dang.
Ooh, let's go.
My number 8 is Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Bro, have you seen Ant-Man?
Haven't seen it.
Okay. Ant-Man is probably one of the most funniest movies out of all the Marvel movies.
What, dude? I gotta see it.
It's great, dude. Paul Rudd's like actually one of my favorite actors to begin with.
Yeah, he's funny. He's just funny in general. I mean,
but then they brought him in, and then they brought in what's the other dude's name? The Mexican dude that's like his sidekick. Michael Pena.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I mean, they just riff off of each other and the whole movie, and it's just a great movie. It's a standalone movie. You can watch it on its own. You don't have to know anything about Marvel. It's just a really good put together movie. And
that sounds good, bro. Because when you said Anthony Pena, like as kind of the supporting actor, Michael Pena.
Michael Pena. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Like,
cool.
And he's the dude from he comes on with that I think it's Ben Stiller when they steal all that money.
Yeah, the Tower.
Yeah.
That's him, yeah.
Just in that movie, like he had a little bit of comedy sub actor feel to him, and he even said like in some interviews like that he always tries, no matter how serious the character is, he always tries to put some kind of comedic feel in there, or if it's too comedic, then he tries to put some serious feel in there. So.
And a great movie to go off that, what you just said, is End of Watch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? End of Watch.
If you've never seen End of Watch, he plays a great role in that movie. He plays a real serious role, but I mean, it's got a little funniness to it. But it's definitely a serious role that he took seriously, and he killed it.
Right.
And it comes back to, I mean, even Ant-Man. One thing I like that they did with Ant-Man was they didn't do the original Ant-Man. The original Ant-Man was Hank Pym. And what they did was Hank Pym hires Scott Lang, who's Paul Rudd. And they did like the version 2 of Ant-Man, and they started it like that. And I really like that they did that. I think it was a great choice. So
not bad.
Wow, awesome.
7.3 out of 10 on IMDb.
He did a lot of good movies. I mean, even in that movie Fury with Brad Pitt was very good. He did a great part in that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Paul Rudd, yeah, I had seen him in what movie was it? I think it's Yes Man. No, not Yes Man. I Love You, Man.
I Love You, Man, dude. That's a great movie too.
I Love You, Man.
Yeah.
Slap at the bass.
Slap at the bass, man. They go to the Rush concert together.
Yeah.
His wife freaks out. She's like, "What's going on?" Like it's pretty cool, man. I like that movie.
Yeah. So, anybody who else is gonna go with their number 8?
Is it my turn or James? What do you think?
Go ahead. You got it.
All right, so let's. I guess we'll just kind of take a break from Marvel because I know we're gonna come back.
Definitely.
Though I don't know if this is a Marvel flick. It might be Men in Black.
No, it's not. It's not. It's a Fox movie.
Yeah, Men in Black. Friggin' Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Funny dude, and Aliens. It's just I can't get over it. The guy with the skin.
Yeah.
The Roach. He takes on that skin for like the whole movie, and he's a comedy dude. Yeah. Like his little stuff there. It's just a good movie, man. What is it? 90s? I'm talking about these 90s movies, but man, they're still movies and they're still good, especially superhero movies.
Came out in 97.
97, there you go. And I mean, I like two and three were kind of all right, but I mean, the number one for anything is kind of usually like the best one. I mean, for me,
except for Terminator. Terminator 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I ain't gonna argue with on that one.
But I mean, like Men in Black for me was like one of the. Honestly, I wouldn't even consider it a superhero movie, but the fact that you did is nice because it's not on my list, and I would have put it on my list for sure.
The reason why I put it as a superhero movie is because usually superhero movies, the superheroes are about saving the world, like Superman or Batman saves a city. Well, Men in Black, they save the whole galaxy. You know what I mean? They save or the whole planet Earth. So that's one of the reasons why I put it on the list.
No, it's great. I mean, I honestly didn't even think about it, but I probably would have put it on my list for sure.
I know you probably would. Yeah,
I mean, I'm a little jealous. Okay, go ahead. I mean, that's good.
Will Smith is definitely like my top 2 actors of all time.
That's what I'm saying. Like I know you probably, if you would have thought that would have been on it would have been on there for you because you're a major Will Smith fan.
Definitely, yeah.
And I could so see that because I mean you just like his game. You know what I mean? His game is tight too. You know, who can argue with that?
Yeah.
Great movie.
That's not bad. I liked number 3 better than number 2.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Men in Black 3 was also really good.
Just because the dude that played the young Tommy Lee Jones, fun fact, is the dude that plays Thanos.
Yeah.
So,
really?
Yeah,
that's the same guy.
And
wow.
But I think he killed. Yeah, he killed a young Tommy Lee Jones as Agent K. It was great. I was like, oh damn, that's good.
Yeah,
I could even argue to put number 1 and number 3 like almost on the same level.
Yeah.
Like I agree with that. Like you couldn't even see. I mean, you could see Tommy Lee Jones in him, but he still had his own like aura, like to make you think, like forget about Tommy Lee Jones. You know what I mean? That's what he did for me, for the number 3 movie.
Yeah. All right, Preem, what you got?
Number 8, Big Hero 6.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Big Hero 6 on number 8. I was kind of debating because you'll see why 7, you'll see 7 and 6 why. But I have to go with
So just a little disclaimer. When I was making my list, and I did put this in the Discord, but I don't know if you read it. I wanted to do non-animated movies, but since you already got your list going, I don't mind. Trust me.
I mean, superhero movies is superhero movies.
Yeah, exactly. Big Hero 6, great movie. Go for it.
Did you really post that? I did not see that.
Yeah, I did.
I think I misread it. That was my fault. So Big Hero 6. What is it about?
Everything, man. Everything. You know, the start to where he's like, oh yeah, this is a nerd school. I ain't trying to go to the nerd school. And then he gets to the nerd school and he's like, damn, I want to be here.
He wants to be a nerd.
Yeah. That, like it's where he wants to be. You know, and then just
it's kind of hard without spoiling the movie.
Yeah,
right. But it's basically about this kid who's super smart, but he's using his.
Wait, have you never seen this, Just?
Never seen it.
He's using his ability.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna disappoint you guys on a lot of
He basically uses his abilities for no good, basically. And then his older brother works at basically like a university where they invent stuff. Yeah. And he's like, hey, I want to do this. And so his brother helps him get an internship. And it just goes on. He becomes friends with all the people that work there. Yeah. And then they go on to fight a big bad when it comes to the end of the movie. Yeah. This is actually my son's favorite cartoon movie.
Really? Wow.
So I've seen this movie about 1,000 times. Oof. No lie.
Wow. That's cool.
But it's a really good movie. It is a Marvel movie. Hey.
It's cool, man. It's all good.
It's definitely a fun movie to watch with your kids. Out of all as far as an animated movie, it's great. It's a great movie.
So who wrote it? Was it Disney, DreamWorks? Which one was it?
This is Disney. It's a Disney movie. It is a Marvel comic that they turned into a movie, but Disney owns Marvel, so
Marvel was freaking everywhere back then. They're everywhere now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So 7.8 out of 10 on Big Hero 6.
Nice. We got a good list
really,
here, man.
Yeah. That's interesting to know.
Well. Did everybody do one? Are we going to number 7?
Yeah, we're on number 7 now.
7.
All right, go ahead, Jesus. See what you got.
All right. Looking at my list here, I'm gonna go with The Crow.
Oh, The Crow, the original Crow with
The original.
The original Crow.
Oh,
Nice.
With the dragon's son. Okay.
You can talk about it for a minute here.
I know you can relate to this, Fro.
It's
dude.
Yeah.
Freaking Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee.
Yeah.
Brandon,
the dragon. Yeah.
You're a big dragon fan, and man, you cannot go wrong with The Crow.
No, you cannot.
He doesn't save the world, you know what I mean? But he kind of comes back for revenge because his wife and him get murdered, and they kind of try to stop the All Hallows Eve Day or whatever. Yeah. And it's old school, you know what I mean? They had my favorite I guess band on the soundtrack was the Stone Temple Pilots.
Yep.
90s, man. I'm a 90s kid. I really love the 90s flicks, and The Crow he did it for me. It just did it for me. When I first watched it, I got the soundtrack. I was like, man, I love this. I can't let go of it.
Yeah. This is let me make sure I get the number right. This is my number 4. So I rated this movie super high. It was iconic to me when I was a kid. I've seen it a bunch of times. I think about, what happened when he's like, oh, this happened to my family. I'm trying to get revenge. It's just a great movie. The Brandon Lee part of it probably kicks it up a notch when it comes to rewatchability and like nostalgia for a lot of people. But I mean, it's a great movie.
Just kind of like that character. I'm coming for revenge, like no holds barred, like, and he can't be killed, And the cool thing about it is like he doesn't die again until his revenge is fulfilled.
Until he's done. Yeah. This came out in 1994. 7.6 out of 10.
Nice. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it different because y'all got some good ass picks. But I'm gonna go ahead and hit number 7 as Blade.
Yep, that's a good one.
Blade with Wesley Snipes. Blade. I like Blade.
Yep.
It may not be a superhero movie, but he protects us from the vampires.
Yeah.
So I mean that's what I like. I like that. I like his gadgets in that movie too, and all of them too. Even Blade Trinity and stuff like that. Even though it wasn't really that great, but it was good. I mean, I enjoy them. I watch them to this day, and. The first one was pretty good. I think I like the second one a little better than the first one, but I got to put Blade up there just in general. I like it.
So Blade is my number 5.
Ooh.
This movie, I remember I was like in elementary school, I think, when it came out, and my mom actually took me to go see this movie, and she didn't know it was a superhero movie or that it was a Marvel movie to begin with, because it wasn't marketed that way. It wasn't
Marvel again?
Yeah. Blade's a Marvel character. He came out in the original Spider-Man TV show that was on back in the day.
Wow.
And a lot of people didn't know that he was Marvel when it first came out because they didn't advertise it like that. They just kind of said, hey, this is Wesley Snipes. He's a vampire slayer. He's also a vampire half-blood. And I remember telling my mom on my way into the movies, I said, hey, this is a Marvel movie. It's a Marvel character. Because I remember, seeing him when I was younger in comics and on TV shows. So when I saw this and I saw what a great job Wesley Snipes did and what an awesome job Stephen Dorff did as Deacon Frost, like, dude killed it. Absolutely killed it. Whistler, like the whole. I've seen this movie a lot too. This is one of the movies I do rewatch every once in a while. But it's just a great all-around movie.
And let's face it, dude, freaking Wesley Snipes can throw down.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, he was in that one of the Expendables 3, and he was a bad mother lover in that one too.
That's it.
He was bad. I like the way he plays his characters.
Yeah. This movie came out in 1998. 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb. So. So who's got? Let's go with Fro. Or did I do my number 7? I haven't got number 7.
Yeah, go ahead.
My number 7 is another funny one that came out of nowhere and nobody thought it was going to be good, but it was great. My number 7 is Deadpool.
Okay.
Dude, I don't care what anybody says.
No, I don't think anybody didn't think it was great. I thought everybody thought it was great.
Exactly. Like, but a lot of people didn't understand the premise of the movie, which gave it bad ratings kind of to start. So a lot of people think Marvel movies nowadays, and they think, hey, I can take my kids to watch that. Yeah. Deadpool is not a kids movie.
Nah,
it's not kids.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. However, when I used to read the comics of Deadpool, and when I read them more recently before they put the movie out, Deadpool was like one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, you want
he doesn't care. He breaks the fourth wall all the time. He talks about stuff that you're not supposed to talk about as a comic book character, and they implemented that all into the movie, and they got the best person to play him. Yeah, who's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad they didn't take away from his the way he looked in the comic.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know if you ever saw X-Men Origins.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Oh yeah,
that's actually Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds' character is actually Deadpool in that movie.
Yeah. Dude, I'm so glad they didn't go with that.
Exactly. That movie was produced by Fox, who also produced Deadpool, but they knew Ryan Reynolds always wanted to play that character. And from what I had heard recently, Fox actually made him play Deadpool in X-Men Origins if he ever wanted to get a standalone solo film as Deadpool, and he had to play that character.
Ooh, I wonder if he was cringing, like, man, this is not the real Deadpool.
It's possible. I mean, who knows? You know what I mean? But, dude, honestly, Deadpool, great movie. I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
What do you think? What do you think, Fro?
I think it's right. I think it's good. Deadpool didn't make my list. I gotta say, but
you put Batman and Robin on your list.
I sure did. I think Deadpool is just. It's too funny. You know what I'm saying? It's too funny. Like
he's too good. He's too good.
Yeah, he's too good. Like
how can it be too funny?
He can't be on the list. If we were doing top one, Deadpool. You know what I'm saying? He can't be on the top 10 with all these. You know what I'm saying? Deadpool even makes fun of himself at the end when he goes back in time and he's, you know what I'm saying? He kills the Green Lantern.
Yeah,
which is him. So Deadpool is on its own level. You know what I'm saying? He's like,
for sure.
Deadpool is like the Eminem of rap. I'm just saying. Deadpool.
Oh shoot, Eminem.
I can't. I'm serious. Like Deadpool 2 was extremely funny, and I watch it. I watch it now. I think it was great. You know.
Yeah, Deadpool 2 was really good as well.
It was bad. It was bad. You know, it was great. I like it.
So the movie came out in 2016. 8.0 out of 10.
Oh, that's really
the ratings.
Jesus, man,
that's good. All right, so mine. What are we on?
Number 6.
Oh, number 6. Yeah, that's right.
6. Yeah, because you started at the 7.
Yeah. Okay. So gotta go back to Marvel. Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
That's a good one. The
reason why I say 2 is because I haven't seen 1. No, for real. No, 2 is good. I like the relationship between Yondu and what's the guy's name? The Star-Lord.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, freaking heart wrencher. I didn't expect that. I didn't even know. I hadn't seen the first one, and it's one of those movies that I kind of really didn't have to see the first one in order to see the second one. Yeah. That was good. Let's see what else. Groot, man. Groot in the first scene. He's just a funny character, man, and it's just funny. It's just a really good movie. What's the name of the villain? It's losing my mind. He comes out on Tombstone. Kurt Russell.
Ego
came out. Kurt Russell. I had never seen him die in a movie. He died in this movie, and he died. He died freaking valiantly. You know what I mean? Like he played a good character, and it just did a good job. It was a good movie for me.
All I could say is I was disappointed that I didn't get to see it in theaters because I thought it wasn't going to be good.
Man, you missed out, dude.
I did miss out.
It was really good.
And I didn't. That's because I saw Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. I didn't see that one in theaters either. But I was like, all right, this is. I honestly, it was a knockoff of Avengers or something like that. I just didn't like it. You know, I really tried to watch it, but the second one I watched it, I was like, I should have went to go see this in theaters. It would have been sick. You know,
the cool thing about Guardians of the Galaxy is that they're kind of meant to be making fun of like the superhero movies. You know what I mean? Like the Justice League and all that stuff.
And they kind of do because they're oddballs. Like you got a green character, you got a freaking guy that's a root, you know what I mean? And you got that the raccoon dude he's a total freaking jerk, you know what I mean? And he plays it really well, dude.
Yeah. What's his name? Cooper. What's his name?
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Is that who it is?
Yeah.
Wow.
The one thing I will say about between Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 is the second one is definitely more like heart wrencher. You got a lot of tie-ins with family. The first one is just straight up goofy, but the first one plays a bigger part in the Infinity War storyline than the second one does.
Yeah, it really does because of the Infinity Stone, which is
so. I would say if you're trying to follow the Infinity War storyline, you have to watch one, whereas the second one you could kind of watch it on its own, and it's still a great movie.
All right.
So I liked it.
Go ahead, Prem. What's your number?
So what was the rating on the Guardians?
Came out in 2017. Rating is a 7.7 out of 10.
Nice.
So it was pretty good.
It can't be bad.
So that was your number 6, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
My number 6, another Marvel movie, of course, but we're gonna go with Captain America: Civil War.
Okay.
No, is it Captain America? I think it's just called Civil War. Avengers: Civil War. That movie.
Avengers: Civil War.
I think it's Avengers: Civil War.
I thought it was in Avengers movies too. When I went back, I was like, "Yeah, what's that movie, Avengers?" And then my coworker's like, "No, man, that's Captain America."
Yeah, okay, so it is Captain America: Civil War. I thought, okay, I was right. Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, this is when it comes to Marvel movies, this one really breaks it down, where it's more of a political view, of a catastrophic view of what can happen when you actually have superheroes in the real world, and when half of the superheroes are like, we should try to obey the laws, and the other half are saying, the laws are dumb, we're superheroes, we can do whatever we want. And then you got Captain America, who's kind of torn because he is all about justice and the law, but at the same time, he doesn't agree with what they're saying.
Yeah, because yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. A lot of people don't see that perspective of Marvel and the superhero world.
Yeah,
like just like you're saying, the political aspect of it is. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, cool. There's a lot more. It's. I think it's one of the deeper movies that Marvel has, but it's just it has a lot more meaning to it than what's on the surface. I mean, there's even a lot of cool stuff in here. This is the first movie where the actual Spider-Man came out in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna mention that.
So I mean, there's just so much to this movie, and I think it's well deserving of a top 10 spot.
Nice.
What's the rating?
This movie came out in 2016. The rating is a 7.8 out of 10. So there you go.
All right, let me go ahead and hit me with number Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire.
Oh my God!
Come on, Preem, what's up with that?
I'm sorry though, man, but it's good. I like it. Especially, I like the sweet old Ant-Man that they put. I don't like the Ant-Man that they're doing now. I don't like it.
So who's the villain? Who's the villain on that one? I forgot.
Doc Ock.
Doc Ock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was good though. I mean,
the Doc Ock they picked was great. Yeah.
Which I don't think I like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. I don't know why people, don't like it. But
because they totally ruined it in the third movie.
Well, yeah, that's the third movie though. But I mean, yeah.
Well, to be honest, I think that I wouldn't think that if they hadn't came out with more Spider-Mans with different actors. Because I dig the first Spider-Man and the second one because at the time Marvel was just making movies,
Yeah.
And all we had was X-Men before that, and I was like, oh, they got Spider-Man now, and then they got Incredible Hulk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So once they started adding more Spider-Mans and different renditions of it, which was a darn good idea, especially with the Hulk that had 3 different actors. You know what I mean? That's a good idea.
Yeah.
The biggest difference and the reason why that happened was because Spider-Man was actually owned by Sony.
Really?
So these are actually Sony movies. They're not actually Marvel movies.
Oh wow!
So the first one with Tobey Maguire and then the second rendition with Andrew Garfield are actually Sony movies. Sony actually, as far as I know, Sony actually still owns the rights to Spider-Man. They just gave permission for Marvel to use that character in a movie.
Yeah, for a low price, probably.
For a low price of like $10,000 million.
Yeah, but it was good though. I wouldn't rate the first one there, the first Spider-Man, because just for reasons. I think the guy that played um Green Goblin was very good. I think he's a great actor.
James Franco?
No, that's
His
the
dad,
Oh,
right?
he's the Hobgoblin. My
yeah.
bad.
I forget his
Isn't it like?
I
Dang,
don't know his name.
he came out in the first one, so it's not. It doesn't show up on the list.
but and I don't rate number 3 on there because I didn't like Venom. I thought the dude that plays that 70 show Eric did a horrible Venom, but I mean, what can you do at that point? You know what I'm saying? He did his best, I would say. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
maybe
I'm kind of now considering it maybe on maybe as an honorable mention, just because I'm running the movie through my head. I'm like, man, that was
but number
cool.
2,
actually watching it for the first couple times, I was like, wow, that's cool.
He actually loses his powers, and he sees, and he's actually still doing superhero stuff when he loses his powers. For instance, when he goes into the burning building to save the girl, but missed another little girl.
Yeah,
and she died in the fire. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's there on my list. And plus, Doc Ock killed it, boy. That man was nice. Awesome.
Yeah. And then he took down that whole thing at the end of the movie.
Yeah. So
that's a good one. It's better than Batman and Robin.
All right.
I like Mr. Freeze and Batman and Robin. It's good. I like
Come on now.
So Fro, let's get your number 5.
Hold on. I haven't done 6.
Oh, okay.
Or what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. I haven't done 5.
Your 6 was wait, what was your 6 again?
So
I forgot.
9, Guardians, 7. Wasn't it?
No, that was 7 for me, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. I already did 5. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so we're at number 5. Yeah.
So we're at number 5 now.
Okay, cool.
So what you got, Preem? What you got?
I'm gonna go ahead and hit you with the classic Toy Story. The classic Toy Story, man. You know what I'm saying? You'll be like, man, what's this? You can tell I'm not biting off anybody's list.
Come on, Bream. I don't think we're inviting you on the show again.
I don't know, man.
Nah, I was messing with you.
I like it, and you could literally say these are my legit picks, either the horrible or not. But Toy Story was sick.
So why do you? So who's the superhero?
Toy Story 1.
Okay, so who's the superhero in Toy Story 4?
I mean, technically, Buzz Lightyear is a superhero.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And when Buzz Lightyear came in, it made stuff. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted a Buzz Lightyear when I was young. Jacob wanted a Buzz Lightyear when he was young. I remember because he was like, "Hey, did you get the new Buzz Lightyear when you're young?" You know what I'm saying? But it's good though. I mean, I like it. At the end, it also shows that they're toys that are loyal to their owner and they'll do anything to get back to him.
Nice.
That's sick. And you know what I'm saying? I wish I had some toys like that.
Yeah, I remember when they were blowing up. The Combat Carl, and Sid was blowing them up.
Yeah.
And then Woody was like, "Man, it's a Combat Carl." And he's like, "Who is it again?" Because freaking the next door neighbor who's blowing up all the.
He's just destroying the toys. You know what I'm saying?
And then it feels sorry for him. They're like, "Dude, this is your honestly, bastard. Man, sucks."
I remember watching that movie and being like, "Dude, I'm so Sid." Like when I think about that movie,
that's probably why. Yeah.
We're having lunch today. Tomorrow's fantastic. Sunny.
I can tell you who's a real Sid in our family, and that's because he tore the head off my Mortal Kombat Raiden character, and that is our known cousin Gary. That's who it is. The mother. Ooh. I said, what happened to my Mortal Kombat character? I don't know, just fell off. Liar, man.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
It's all right though. But yeah. Plus, I also like the fact that they were concerned about the character, the toys that were getting blown up. Then they go to his house. They see all these disfigured toys, and those disfigured toys actually help him, and they help each other to get back Sid. It's all it's all good.
Cool.
Nice. But man, I got a lot of anime. I did not know you were like no anime.
Okay, I actually wanted to do like an animated, like not just superheroes, but favorite animated movies, and I knew a lot of the superheroes would be in there.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't. But hey, it's cool. We already got it. We're already doing it.
Did you get a rating on that one?
So no, on that one I did not because I was kind of
All right, so let's do it. So since we're staying on animated, I'll do my next one.
Hold on. So came out in 1995 and 8.3 out of 10.
And 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Look at that. Oh my goodness.
I gotta come out. So I gotta come out with the Incredibles, guys, for my number.
Oh, you did it on me, man.
My number 5.
You did it on me. All right,
and that was really on my list too. Like I was like, man, I gotta put the freaking Incredibles. You got Frozone.
Yep.
And you got the whole family. I mean, any family can relate to that. You know what I mean? If they had superhero powers, you know, the kids fighting, the freaking jazz music, like the music score was really good. You had the Syndrome as the freaking the villain.
Oh.
It was just a real good movie for me. How Edna Mode, like she's a total character. Like
Go check the Electric Fence or something.
Go check the fan. Yeah.
No capes.
No capes. Yeah. I haven't seen number 2 yet though. I hope it's good as good as number 1. So
you should watch it as soon as Redbox or whatever. But it's honestly just as good as the first one.
Nice.
Yeah, man, Incredibles. I didn't put it on my list because I just animated movies. I was trying to keep them separated, but this definitely would have been on my top 10 for sure.
Yeah. Actually, it is. It's my number 3. I'm gonna go ahead and say that right now.
Okay. So. Yeah. So I think all of us would have had this on there somewhere. It's iconic. It took them 14 years to come out with a sequel, but they knew the demand was there and they made one anyways, and it still got great ratings. You know what I mean? It's just. And you're right. There's a whole lot of like actual family life when it comes to being a superhero, and they show that part of it, which is funny. You know what I mean? So
and then even Frozo, like he doesn't even have a family. He's just married, or he just has a girlfriend or whatever. Even that aspect of it was cool too.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. So this movie came out in 2004, and it got an 8.0 out of 10 on IMDb. What you got for the Rotten Tomato score over there?
90. Oh wait, no. What were we talking about? The first one, right?
The Incredibles, yeah.
Hello.
Man, you're supposed to be on top of this.
Actually, it doesn't really have a score. The Incredibles
might be too old.
Yeah, it. How'd you even get the IMDb score?
You go to the IMDb website. And
I see it now. Yeah, they don't have a Rotten Tomatoes on it actually.
Wow,
that's probably because it's a good movie. That's why.
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes like we're gonna leave this alone because
the score meter up.
Yeah, we want to. Yeah, want to keep our ratings here.
So, is it my number 5, and I'm the last one?
I think it is your number 5.
Okay, so we already talked about mine, which was Blade. All around great movie. I'd watch it over and over again if I could. Wesley Snipes killed it. So there we go.
Did you do your 5th, Fro?
10, yeah, mine was Toy Story.
Yeah. So I'll start off number 4 because we already talked about it. It was The Crow. Freaking one of the greatest movies that I've ever seen. I think it's more nostalgia than the actual fact that the movie was good. But hey, it was a great movie.
Yeah.
So, Fro, what you got for number 4?
You want me to go?
Nah, I got it. But you're killing me on these anime movies.
Go ahead, man. You already got it. Let's get it done.
Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda. Great pick.
Kung Fu Panda. So, how do you not like Poe? You know what I'm saying? The panda, and how do you not like his dad, the goose? You know what I'm saying? Like it's so good. You know, it has it's a really great family movie. You know, I put it on for the kids, and they know karate all of a sudden. So,
yeah, mine too.
So, the cool thing is, like, I know that superhero movies have been around like since early, 30s, 40s, and even cartoons like Mighty Mouse and stuff like that. It's just. It just goes back to that theme, like good and evil. People like it, and these movie people, they capitalize on it because they know that's what people yearn for. They like it.
The thing I like more about Kung Fu Panda compared to like something like Toy Story is it has a more genuine aspect to it, where it's just this guy and he loves superheroes and he ends up being one. You know what I mean? And it's by total dumb luck. According to a lot of the people in the movie, but according to Oogway, who's the wisest one of them all, he knows that it's in. There's
the
a
way of the
meaning
universe. Yeah.
when it comes to a lot of the proverbs and stuff that they say in the movie. So I think it's a really good movie.
Plus, the cast is awesome. You got Jet Black, Angelina Jolie, Lucy Liu, Jackie Chan. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you can't forget about my boy Seth Rogen, though.
Yeah, and Seth Rogen. Yeah, and it was just great. So
for sure, that's a good movie.
And David Cross as well as Crane. So
who's the villain was the tiger, right? Who was the actor? Let's see if we know that.
For
who?
For
Tai Lung?
Yeah, Tai Lung.
Ian McShane.
I don't
know who that is though.
I'm thinking like Scar from Lion King. I'm all old school.
Okay. He came out in Pirates of the Caribbean as like Blackbeard or I'm not sure what his name was.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the same guy that played him.
Nice.
So this movie came out in 2008. It's got a 7.6 out of 10.
And it's got an 87% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well deserved, I would say, for sure.
Very great.
Okay, so for mine, I got 3. I got 4 left. I'm gonna go with Iron Man 1.
Iron Man 1.
Great pick. For sure.
I gotta do it. I mean, Robert Downey Jr., he just for the newest kind of superhero at the time, he came out. Dude, he's got the computer in his face mask.
Yep.
Jarvis is his right hand man. He programmed Jarvis like perfectly, you know what I mean, to fit his character. So that I guess that's kind of like a supporting actor, but though you never see him until he comes out later in another movie as one of the characters, right?
Yeah.
So and then one of my favorite parts is when he comes out he has to change the Iron Man suit to make it freeze proof. So he puts the satellite metal on there and it's all gold. And then he's like, just put a little hot rod red in there,
Yeah.
To make it like the actual character, kind of nonchalantly, and then when he comes out, it's like the real Iron Man, his colors and everything. So
this movie basically started and paved the way for superhero movies. This was the #1 movie when it came out. A lot of people didn't even know who Iron Man was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they picked one of the most random not random, but he was one of the lesser known Marvel characters to be, a main feature film. And he did great. The soundtrack was actually really good to this movie. I don't know if y'all know that. But he just killed it. And it's like I said, it paved the way for future movies to come out. I think this is the best out of the Iron Man movies, out of all 3 of them. But again, Robert Downey Jr. just kills it as Iron Man. He is Iron Man when it comes down to it. So
I think it has a lot to do with like technology within his movie, like computers and stuff like that. If it had been like maybe a different type of character, then I don't know. Maybe kids couldn't have related to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just thinking out loud. Maybe it might have had a good effect on it, but definitely even without still.
Yeah.
Still good.
You got anything on this one, Fro?
No, everything summed it up already.
Movie came out in 2008. 7.9 out of 10.
Nice.
So,
man, looks like I got a lot of 7.9ers on my list.
honestly, like I would consider like a 7 point anything on IMDb to be like a 10 out of 10 almost. Because that's just kind of the way their stuff works. Right. I like IMDb because Rotten Tomatoes can be way one way or way the other.
Oh yeah.
And IMDb is kind of like more of a median.
Yep.
So everybody did their number 4. We're going to number 3.
Mm-hmm.
I will start again.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm gonna start because we've already done mine as well. This was Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Not much to say. We already covered it again, but awesome movie, awesome soundtrack. One of the funniest Marvel movies that you'll ever watch. Camaraderie. And it's just got one of the best fight scenes with Thor besides what happened in Infinity War, like to date. So,
and he didn't even need his hammer, right? Is that the scene?
No, it's just him as the Thunder God.
Yeah,
like he finally came to be who he was. Like he finally understood this is who I am. Like
exactly.
And it just freaking came out. And then Led Zeppelin, like he said in the background.
Yep. That's right.
And beat it.
All right, Jesus, what's your number 3?
Let me go ahead and hit mine.
Okay. My bad.
Again, mine's Incredibles, my number 3. Like I said, we already covered that. Incredibles is great. Go check the electric fence or something. It was awesome. But I mean, we just got to find that man his super suit. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got to do.
Yeah. Where's my super suit?
Samuel L. Jackson, man. I mean, he comes out and comic movies.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what? You know which one? I guess I can do an honorable mention now. I want to say the Django.
Django.
Oh,
Django. Django. I mean, I don't know if it could be a superhero movie. I mean, he goes and gets his wife and all this other stuff. But I mean,
could kind of see it as that because he's pretty much like he's a badass. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he comes in, he does what he's got to do. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, and what made me think of that is Samuel L. Jackson. Like he's kind of the link, a link to a lot of these characters and a lot of these in the superhero world, and not just Marvel.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a good honorable mention for sure. So I think that's pretty much it.
Wait. What movie was it again?
Django?
Oh, what are you talking about?
Yeah, the honorable mention. Your honorable mention?
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah, that's what the honorable mention because you were talking about Frozone from The Incredibles, which was your what is that? Your third pick?
No, I was just I don't think I've ever seen that movie, the Django.
Django Unchained.
Yeah,
It's what's that?
Quentin Tarantino.
Like? It's Tarantino. It's a Tarantino movie. Yeah, you should definitely watch it if you haven't seen it.
It's not really kid friendly because there's a lot of cussing, a lot of blood and stuff like that. Leonardo DiCaprio comes out on it. He plays a villain.
Yeah, so does Jamie Foxx. Wow.
It's actually like The Hateful Eight. It's like that type of movie. You'll like it, dude. You'll really enjoy it. You should check it out.
The setting was like in the slave days. Farmers, they had slaves, tend their crops and stuff like that. And basically Django, he's a free black man and his wife is a slave, and he just basically goes and wrecks shop and just gets his wife back.
Django's played by Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, it is.
It's a good movie.
The other movie that he comes out on that I can think of a superhero movie is that as one of the Spider-Mans, he's a villain.
Yeah, that's the Andrew Garfield one.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, as Electro. Yeah. I've never seen the Django Unchained. That's crazy.
Check it out, man. It's a really good movie. Wow. All right, so we're gonna move on to our number 2.
Oh, well, he hasn't said his number 3 yet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got it written down. I haven't said it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah. So mine is Unbreakable.
Unbreakable. Oh, yes.
Samuel L. Jackson comes out on it. He's a villain. You got Bruce Willis, the freaking strong man. And I really like this movie because it's a movie based on kind of glorifying the comic book world. Because at the very beginning, it has a reel and it says so many people buy so many comics a year. And, it kind of just talks about how impactful comics are, to the human, to us, to our world.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis is the actual hero, but he doesn't know that he's a hero. Like he doesn't find out he's a hero until he meets his arch nemesis, which is kind of a twist. That's what I love about this guy. What's his name? Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan. His movies are freaking on point, and Unbreakable is one of them. And just his twists, his camera features, the music, just everything about his films are awesome. And just stuff you would never think, like The Village, like his movie The Village, like a village inside a village, and the village on the outside is like modern, and it's just crazy, man. His mind is on the next level.
He's definitely probably one of my favorite writers or directors because I mean he did Signs, he did The Sixth Sense as well. He did a lot of new stuff too, and now he's doing Mr. Glass, it's actually like the third part to Unbreakable.
Right, and then so he made Split, right? Remember Split?
Mm-hmm.
And Bruce Willis made a feature in that because I guess and then his theme music came out at the end of that. That was pretty cool too. That was interesting.
Yeah, Split was a good movie as well. It was a little bit different. Not something I would probably watch again, but it was good. But definitely not like Unbreakable or I'm hoping Mr. Glass is going to be good. So I'm
thinking, Split was a little bit more on the horror side for Shyamalan, or what's his name?
Shyamalan,
yeah.
So that's a great pick. I mean, it was my honorable mention for a reason because I think this movie's great. And you're right, like it's just a superhero that doesn't know he's a superhero until the end of the movie. So.
Yeah, and then his arch nemesis, which is Mr. Glass, he reveals that to him, and he becomes his friend.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie, he's like, like, now that you know who I am, I gotta show you who I am. And he shakes his hand because the hero, he can sense people's, like, they're evil, and he just senses him killing all these people, and it's like heartbreaking for him because he's like, man, this was my friend. He helped me find who I was, and now he's my villain. Yeah. It's crazy, man.
It is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, again, great movie. Came out in 2000. It's got a 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb. Nice. So,
nice.
You got anything to say about that one, Pre?
Have I taken any sick days at work? That's a good one. I like that one because the boss comes back and he's like, "Yeah, you deserve a raise," you know? Yeah. He's like, "Yeah, you deserve a raise."
He's like, "Well, see, man, it's crazy because he's like, well, when's the last time you've been hurt?" And he's like, "I can't remember." Yeah. And then too, like, Mr. Glass is like, every hero has their kryptonite, and his was water. Yep. That was very interesting. It's true. Like, every hero has their kryptonite, like yeah. So
yeah, no, that's all I got to say about that. It's a great movie, I just think it sucks that dude literally is walking down the street. He could just break.
Mr.
You know what
Glass?
I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, this.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Walking down the stairs too fast, boom, you're dead.
His car has padding in it. Have you seen it? You remember that scene? He opens his car. He's got a bunch of padding, and his car is stellar. Like, I mean, every little detail of the movie. I'm telling you, man, this director is freaking awesome, dude. He sees every angle, and just like even their cars match each other. Like, his is like the heroes is like a Bronco, and Mr. Glass is like an old school kind of one of those long boat cars, with the fin on the back.
Yep.
And it just matches. It's cool.
Yeah, man. It's a good one. It's a good one for sure.
So,
I'm thinking about doing my number 2 next.
Do it. What you got?
All right. My number 2. Everybody knows my favorite comic book character of all time is Doctor Strange. Oh. I got the Doctor Strange posters right there in the back. Doctor Strange is my dude, man. When I heard they were doing a Doctor Strange movie and Benedict Cumberbatch was playing that dude, I was excited as hell because I knew he was gonna kill it. And this movie, man, they did him justice in the movie. I think the movie ran a little bit longer than it should have in his story, but all in all, great movie. I watch it like almost every week at least. Y'all got anything on that? Have y'all seen that one?
Yeah, definitely. Like, that actor, man, the dude, he's just good in every single film that he does. Like, and I think he's originally English. He got an English accent originally.
Yeah, he's from England. Yeah.
If you was to watch that movie for the first time and having him as an actor, you never would have thought he had that kind of accent.
Definitely not.
And when actors can spot that on, that's when just that little detail, they're good. They're just good at what they do. Doctor Strange, just the different types of realms. Dormammu, like, who would have thought that this dude he could actually have existed in the Marvel universe?
Yeah, I know.
And just having to Doctor Strange having to go back and freaking torture him every time, and like, dude, you're gonna have to deal with me. You can't get rid of me, And he just took that on, and and he thought he was freaking broken because he broke his hands, and that was his everything. You know what I mean? He was a surgeon. And he thought if he lost his hands, he was out. He was down and out. And then he found his new self. It's like one of those heroes again. They finding themselves, finding who they can really be. And, and even putting aside having, a woman, you know what I mean? Like some superheroes. And he's just like, I got to do the right. I got to do the right for the right, So that's what he did. And Doctor Strange, I totally agree, man. He should have been on my top list. I don't know why I didn't have him on there.
Yeah. It's got to have him.
Yeah, he tight. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I slept on the movie.
That's all right.
Well, when I saw Infinity War, though, man, I made a point to where I'm like, I need to watch this movie because he killed it in Infinity War. I'm not gonna spoil it, but he kills it. You dude, a bad dude. He a bad dude, bro. He ain't nothing to mess with.
I remember, Fro, like, it was like not even a couple hours after he got out of the movie, and he calls me and he goes, "Hey, your dude Doctor Strange tore it up in Infinity War."
He was a bad
Don't be
dude,
sleeping
bro.
on Doctor Strange, man.
Well,
the supporting actors, that black guy, I mean, he's a good actor. He's in several movies. I don't even know his name.
Chiwetel Ejiofor. I can never say
Yeah.
his name, but yeah, he's a great actor as well.
Good actor.
Mordo is not normally played by a black guy. He's normally like an Asian descent. But
Really?
I actually think they picked a really good character for Mordo. I think they did everything about this movie, they did a really great job. Tilda Swinton, that's normally also an older Oriental dude that usually sits up in the mountain somewhere. I think that twist on it, where she's this bald-headed white woman in a character that normally is played by a dude. I think they did a great job when it came down to that stuff. So
yeah, and that's not the only time she's played kind of like, maybe, I don't know if this guy, he's supposed to be a guy, but that other movie, what is it, Constantine, where she plays an angel, and she's kind of like
Gabriel, I think.
Yeah.
She's bad.
So she's kind of notorious, and that's what I see about these actors. Like they're in similar movies that have similar kind of settings and stuff like that. And these directors, they choose that. Like this, like I was watching The Terminal earlier, and Tom Hanks, he's notorious for like being just this guy trying to survive in a certain realm. You know what I mean? No matter what it is, and he does good, and they always pick him.
Yeah, for sure. So Doctor Strange came out in 2016. I think it came out on November 4th, the day right before right after my birthday. So I saw it November 3rd at midnight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right on my birthday, my favorite character. I remember that day like it was yesterday, dude. I was
that is awesome.
7.5 out of 10 on IMDb.
Actually, it says 7.9 out of 10 on my screen.
I'm looking at the actual website, Preem. So you need to take the internet you got over there.
I'm just saying. Oh, I see it. 7.
Come on, you can't smash on Big Cream like that.
So, all right. I
don't agree with 7.5. I agree with the 7.9.
7.9 is more.
Because I didn't even see the movie. We'll see what that dude can do in Infinity War. Ooh, that man is a boss, man. He bad.
Yeah.
So what's your number 2, Preem?
Oh, it's my turn already.
Big Fro, what you got?
I could go, Preem. I'm telling you.
My number 2 is a DC movie.
Here we go.
Man of Steel.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that's Shaq, bro.
Nah, Man of Steel is
that old ass movie.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh my god, I forgot about that one.
You remember Shaq?
Do you talk about Kazam?
No. He made a movie called Man of Steel.
Did he really?
And he's like a John Henry, like a big dude that can't be hurt.
So you're talking about Man of Steel, Superman?
Yeah,
that one. I really like that one. I clicked it. First time I watched it was with Aunt Rosie and Mammal. And dude, I clicked with that movie. I really like it. I watched, I have the clip saved on YouTube, and I just like it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. I don't know why it hits so hard for me. Like I like it. You know what I'm saying? I'm always watching.
I'm trying to figure out which one. I mean, it's the newer one, right? Of course.
It's the most latest one with Henry Cavill as the Superman.
Yeah.
Okay.
The guy that came out in all the more recent Justice League stuff.
Yeah, right. And I just, for me, it's sick.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I haven't watched this movie, and the number one reason why is because I can't stand Superman. Superman is the comic book character that I could care less about. I wish they would delete him from existence because I don't care for Superman at all. I don't like a character that can do everything, that can beat everybody, because it's not fun at the end of the day. Yeah. That's one reason, like Doctor Strange back in the day, he was basically like the Superman of Marvel, because there was nobody that could ever beat him because he was so strong. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But then they tuned him down and they made him have weaknesses, and they made him, they made him more realistic. So when somebody brings up Superman to me and they're like, Superman will kill Batman, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, he could, but he's never going to, because he's good at two shoes that can do whatever he wants.
That's a good point, man. That's a good point.
I've never actually seen the Superman movie. I heard it was okay. I heard it was good. So I'm going to go with you guys on this one and assume it was good, because I mean, it's got a 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb. So,
I mean, I like it, man. I enjoy it as a superhero movie. I like it because I don't think there is anybody that's going to be as popular as a superhero than Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And then too, I mean, you got Christopher Reeves, like back in the day, like even still, he had three different Superman movies, and he just did it, and people were even devastated when he got, the actual guy got crippled, and they were like, and they were calling him Superman, like Superman, they just took it to a whole new level, because they thought he was actually Superman, and he did it for them, you know. So
for sure.
Which I agree that like it sucks that you could do everything and smash on everybody and be the strongest, especially when you live in the sun for 10,000 years, become Superman Prime. You know what I'm saying? But his weakness is a stone. You know what I'm saying? It's a rock, pretty much.
Yeah, that's weird.
You know what I'm saying? It's a rock. You know, just throw a rock at him, he smash on him like a normal. You know what I'm saying? It happened in Batman versus Superman. You know what I'm saying? And he played his cards right. You know what I'm saying? He got the gas from the kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? He got the stone for the spear. You know what I'm saying? He tore Superman up.
Yeah.
And this is Batman we're talking about with no superpowers at all.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
He's a human.
with just some great combat skills, probably the best.
Batman definitely has the best hand-to-hand combat as a non-super character out of almost anybody in the game. I mean, there are some other ones like the Black Panther and some other people that are like
Batman will school him and Captain America.
Yeah, well,
Batman a beast. I mean, but it's because he's smart though. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna go into a fight not knowing who the hell you are. You know?
But I mean, like I said, I know a lot of people that have watched the movie. They do like Superman. It's just not for me. It's not a movie I would like to watch. That's why I didn't go watch it. But hey, if it's your cup of tea, it's your number 2. I'm gonna give it to you.
Go ahead with it. My turn.
I mean, it's not my number 2 of all movies of all time. It's
no, for sure. But superhero movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead. Jesus, number 2.
He's got to be on there. I mean, he hasn't been on our list at all so far. Yeah, I mean, for some people, he's got to be on there. So
yeah,
I don't know if I should mention this one because I know one of you guys is gonna have it on there.
Well, wait, you doing your number 2?
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if I want to.
What's your number 2?
The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Dark Knight.
It's not better than Batman and Robin. I'm just kidding.
Freaking Dark Knight, man. Christopher Nolan does it. The Joker music theme. I mean, I'm a musician.
Yeah.
And his theme is just minimalist as hell. Like, I mean, you can't get so psychotic with music like this composer did. Hans Zimmer,
like, is probably one of my favorite composers besides like Danny Elfman, for sure. Hands down.
He's just got it, man. He just got it. So I was reading one of the techniques that he was using was actually scratching a razor on a piano string to get the Joker's theme music.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
And then it has all this music in the background. It kind of just it defines who the Joker is, and you should define who the Joker is. So Batman is not Batman without Joker.
No.
Definitely not.
And Heath Ledger freaking tore it up, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you never would have guessed that the dude that came out on these romance movies, you know what I mean, in the 90s, could do it as Joker, man. Yeah. And this is probably everybody's favorite scene. The guy comes in, he's like, let me show you a magic trick. He put the pencil.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It's gone.
You know what I mean? And then ta-da! He opens his jacket. He's like, ah.
Yeah. With
all the bombs in there, you know?
Yeah, man.
Dude, The Dark Knight, man. And at the end of the movie, Batman's like, you know, you just want to believe that everybody's as bad as you, and people want this world destroyed, and there's a little bit of hope in humanity. So that was pretty cool. How the Joker, I really like him. I never really read the comics, and I think this is my only DC like character that I like. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's the Batman character, and it always has been since I was a little kid. I mean, Batman #1 was my top 10, and The Dark Knight again. I got 2 Batmans in my list. You know, so having you know, the Joker, he's always 10 steps ahead. He's like a chess game for him, and he's freaking good at it. Mm-hmm. And he outsmarts Batman several times. You know what I mean? It takes Batman getting his butt beat several times until he's like, man, I gotta outsmart this guy. I gotta figure out what to do. And the Joker freaking kills his girlfriend, either Harvey or his girlfriend. And it's like Alfred says, he's like, you spat into the faces of all these villains. You didn't think there was gonna be any repercussions? This is what you're gonna get. You know, it's a good movie.
This is my number 1. So spoilers.
Wow.
But yeah, the Dark Knight, I mean, the whole trilogy is great, but the Dark Knight alone is just hands down, I think, the best superhero movie that's ever been made. Christopher Nolan, like you said, Hans Zimmer soundtrack. I think everybody that was in the movie killed it. Christian Bale, Heath Ledger, Aaron Eckhart, Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman. just the list goes on, dude. But like it's just a great movie, a great portrayal of the Joker. Really, I mean, you look at the gangster Joker that Jack Nicholson did, and then Heath Ledger came in and he did the psychotic Joker, but not the psychotic and go out and tattoo my face. So he did the Joker justice when it comes to, I'm smarter than Batman, which is a big thing to say because Batman is technically like one of the smartest men in the world when it comes down to it, and the Joker is constantly getting it over on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
The fact that they portrayed that in the movie so well, this movie is just great. I don't have enough great things to say about it. So,
yeah, same here.
What's your number 2? Did you already say your number 2?
That's my number 2, Doctor Strange.
Oh, okay. Was it? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're all right. We're on your no.
No,
we're already on your number 1 then. So
this movie came out in 2008, and it's got a 9.0 out of 10.
Yeah.
On the IMDb ratings.
That's the highest we've got so far on our
Definitely
list.
I don't even think we've seen an 8 yet, and this one went straight to 9. You know what I mean?
There was an 8 on there somewhere. I remember you talking about. But damn.
But yeah, this movie, there's just not enough great things you can say about it. There's a lot of little quirks inside of it. You rewatch the movie again and again, and I guarantee you're gonna find something new because there's just so much hidden in there.
Yeah. I mean, it starts off great too with the robbery, the bank robbery.
Yeah, the bank robbery, one of the greatest scenes ever.
So,
and and I think it matches with the comic. Like, it matches with the Joker in the comics.
Definitely.
And like that scene where he has the news reporter and he's upside down and he's reading the cards.
Yeah.
Like that's just like spot on what DC would do,
And that was actually Heath Ledger's idea. Those scenes where it's just the guy and the cameras, there's 2 different scenes. Heath Ledger actually shot those scenes with that guy in a video camera, like somewhere off set, I think. That's what they said. So Christopher Nolan actually gave him a little bit of director access to be able to do that stuff. You know what I mean? Because he trusted, Heath Ledger was in character so well that he trusted him with it.
Wow, that's awesome.
So,
and it's kind of, I don't know if they, I mean, did they take a chance with Heath Ledger? I mean, even if they did, it was just like it was good. Like,
I mean, I don't know if they took a chance, but I mean, they knew that he was going to have some effect on it because this man locked himself in a motel room by himself for like 6 weeks straight. Or something.
To prepare for this role.
Just to get the mentality of it.
And Jack Nicholson even contacted him, and he said, this is a serious role, and it has messed up some people. He's all, take it slow, take it serious, because it's for some reason something about the Joker role messes with people.
Yeah, dude, it's like it comes off of the page. You know what I mean? The guy that wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So great number 2. Fro, you did a number 2, right?
Yeah, Man of Steel.
So let's go with Jesus's number 1.
You got okay, all right. So hold on, real quick, Fro. So you got Iron Giant, Batman, Robin, Big Hero 6, Blade, Spider-Man 2, Toy Story 1, Kung Fu Panda, Incredibles,
Man of
Steel, and then okay,
you'll have to see.
Okay, so you want me to do number 1? Okay, number 1. Oh, so number 1 for me is The Matrix.
Oh, okay. Hit them with it, the big ones. Ooh.
The Matrix, bro. I'm telling you, I'm a 90s kid. I got a lot from the 90s. The Matrix, you got Neo, the acronym. Well, I guess it's not the acronym, but Neo. You turn it around, it's 1, or you rearrange it.
Yeah.
You got Trinity, you got Morpheus. And check this out. Like, he's a human, though. He's a human. He doesn't have superpowers, but he has superpowers in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Which later correlate to real life, but yeah.
Yeah. So, and you got Rage Against the Machine at the end of the movie, And we were watching it the other day. My wife and I, like, part 2 and 3. I think those have Rage Against the Machine at the end too.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So Neo comes to find out who he is through Morpheus. Just again, another hero who doesn't know who he is. He's got to find out who he is, and it doesn't happen until the end of the movie.
That's probably Preem's favorite movie of all time.
This is my favorite movie of all time. This is my number 1. Like, any movie that can come up against it, and anybody says, "What's your one favorite movie that you could watch over and over and over again?" It's The Matrix. I don't consider it a superhero movie. I consider it more of a sci-fi movie, but what it would to each his own. You know what I mean? I think this movie is absolutely great. I can't give it. I would give it 10 out of 10 stars, 11 out of 10 stars if I could. I don't have enough good things to say about this movie. The world that they built, the way that they shot it. Anything that's in the real world is in blue. Anything that's in the Matrix is in green. I don't know if you've ever noticed that before. But there's a lot of key elements to that movie that are pretty interesting.
That's that man right there. Yep.
The Matrix, man. The Matrix. The Neo. You got the two different worlds. A battery, like where he shows him, he's like, you're this. You're a battery. You know. You're just getting energy for the machines.
Yep.
That's crazy, man. And then like the first time he stops all the bullets, you know what I mean? Having that scene to come out for the very first time, and he does that whole thing where he's going in slow-mo. Yeah. Like, have you ever seen that before in any kind of movie, you know?
Now, the very first scene with Trinity, where she's fighting the agents and she jumps up in the air and the camera pans around and she's still stuck in midair. That was a game changer. Nobody had ever done anything like that before. And then you started seeing it, all kinds of action movies and stuff coming out. But The Matrix was the first one to ever do it. And I remember seeing that when I saw it in the movie theaters, and I was like, dang, this is insane.
It's insane. They got programming. I mean, it's all about programs. How the guy can just program, like, what he's like, I know jujitsu. You know what I mean? He puts it in like 2 seconds, you know?
Yeah.
And
Morpheus
then
fighting Neo.
And then Morpheus is like, show me.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I like the part where they're fighting and he's like, you're just faster than me. And he's like, you really think that me being stronger or faster has anything to do with it when we're in a computer program?
He's like, do you think that's air you're breathing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's, like I said, all around great movie, my number one movie of all time. So.
Spoiler alert.
Yep.
We'll go ahead and hit my number one with some classic Avengers. Not Avengers 1, Avengers Age of Ultron.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Because
hold on. I didn't get to give the rating of The Matrix.
Oh yeah.
Movie came out in 1999, 8.7 out of 10.
Yeah.
On the IMDb scale.
Get the 8.7 in there.
So, sorry. All right, Age of Ultron.
Yeah, you know, when I think of superhero movies, I think of just all hands down, let me watch this. You better save the world, you know, type of deal, you know, just to have some kind of like, I don't know how to explain this movie, to tell you the truth, but when I watch superhero movies, this is what I want. Plus, there's multiple of them in there. Yeah, you know, I got. It's like I got a superhero collection in one movie, which I love it. The first one was great. When this one came out, I was like, oh damn, this one's way better than the first one, to me, in my opinion. It has everything. It has sad, happy, you know, it's got secret scenes in it where Tony Stark and Captain America first start arguing, and they're like, why did you kind of like create this, you know? And it kind of goes into like Civil War and how Civil War started.
Yeah. This movie, I mean, when I first saw this movie, I thought it was great. They introduced some new characters like Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, which previously weren't in the movies, but Scarlet Witch is honestly like one of the strongest characters in Marvel Comics. So when I saw her come out, I thought it was awesome that they brought her in.
I thought it was weird that they got their power from the stone instead of them being children of Magneto.
Yeah, they can't really use Magneto because Magneto's owned by Fox.
Yeah.
So, but Fox. The movie itself was great. There was a lot of like, not a lot, but there was a couple of hidden Infinity Stone references inside the movie that if they were like brief second, like if you didn't see them, you would have never you missed it. You know what I mean? A lot of foreshadowing in this movie when it came to, you know, Jarvis dying to go into Vision, basically.
And it being Vision from Thor's vision.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, for sure. So
also, man, if you watch the deleted scenes, they tell you how to beat Thanos. They don't tell you how to beat Ultron. They tell you how to beat Thanos.
Huh.
Because if you go watch the deleted scenes, it says, how do we beat him? Sacrifice.
Yeah.
That's not Ultron. That's for Thanos. Just go watch the deleted scene where Thor is in the, you know, Thor is talking to all the, you know, the people, and what's his face is there with them, and you know he's asking, how do I beat Ultron, and you know, this and this and that,
Yeah.
But they're not really talking about Ultron. They're talking everything about Thanos. And it's pretty crazy because it goes into detail, and I don't know why they deleted scene off that, but it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, so. But
man, it's kind of, it makes me think like they kind of knew that Ultron was gonna get destroyed either way. Like they just
that wasn't who your real enemy is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's not who we're. Yeah. So
is it? Doesn't he try to like live forever or something like that?
Ultron, no, he tries to wipe out.
Right.
He tries to wipe out the humans because he comes to the conclusion that the humans are incapable of living with each other.
Yeah, and they're destruction anyway.
So artificial intelligence.
Basically, yes. I mean, that's really what Ultron is artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Designed by Tony Stark, turned bad when it gets loose to the internet.
Yeah. It's just it's all types of.
It's a great movie. I mean, this movie came out in 2015, 7.4 out of 10. I think it's one of the better Avengers movies. I don't think it's better than Civil War or some of the other ones, but it's definitely up there for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
sounds good, man. Sounds good.
I like it.
But that was it, guys. That was our top 10 superhero movies.
So, that was just my top 10 of whatever I felt like doing. I didn't stick with the program.
Better read the Discord next time. So, yeah, that was our top 10. We're trying to do this every week. We're going to put this out as a podcast, and we're going to try to cut it up and put it up onto YouTube. We're also going to try to live stream it every week. So let us know if y'all have any topics that y'all want us to talk about. Bring them down in the comments. You know what I mean? If there's anything that you guys would be interested in talking about, or anything else that y'all can think of.
Yeah. I mean, y'all can ask questions too. We could talk about that too.
For sure. I mean, yeah, hit them up in the comments. We're trying to get a YouTube channel going, so maybe we can do a dedicated YouTube channel just for something like this. And then definitely we're going to try to put out a podcast and get you guys that information if y'all are interested in listening to it. So,
yep, that was pretty much it. That sums it all up.
Cool. So, unless y'all got anything else to say,
we're good. Appreciate you inviting us.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good night. And remember to check us out on YouTube and probably iTunes or your podcasting service, wherever you are.
Later.